It is a story getting international attention. The arrest of a Waterbury woman accused of keeping her stepson captive for 2 decades. The child, now a 32-year-old man, says his stepmom pulled him out of school when he was just 11 years old, never to be seen again until now. How did this happen? And when kids are pulled out of school in Connecticut, what happens next? Your chief investigative reporter, Sam Smank, found there are no state laws that say anyone has to follow up.
This is Samantha Santilli's second year teaching from home. Her students are her sons, 5-year-old Logan and 3-year-old Ronan.
Because there's how many months in the year, honey? 12.
Santilli and her husband made the decision to homeschool shortly after Logan started preschool.
He is a insanely special boy. He is autistic. He also has ADHD and OCD. And we just quickly learned that the Waterbury public school system wasn't the correct fit for him.
The family hasn't looked back.
We're doing 1st and 2nd grade math right now, and he's 5. And his brother's doing kindergarten math, and he's 3.
Santilli doesn't have to answer to anyone but herself, and she doesn't think that needs to change.
I'm just trying to do the best that I can for my child.
The case of the Waterbury woman arrested for keeping her stepson captive is raising questions that lawmakers and fellow parents want answered. In that situation, the now 32-year-old survivor told police he was permanently pulled out of school in 2005 while in the 4th grade after DCF visited the home twice, following concerns from his elementary school staff. The only documented follow-up appears to be a police visit in April 2005 at the request of DCF. According to this report, the boy's former classmates called DCF with concerns the boy may have died because he had been out of school so long. That same report shows someone whose name is blacked out told police the boy was being homeschooled by his stepmother, Kimberly Sullivan, although there are no other records to suggest that. Police say in the report they found the boy to be healthy and happy after speaking with him.
This is a particular instance of monsters who did a terrible thing to a child, and I think a lot of adults failed that child. I don't think that means now, though, I should be checking in regularly and that somebody needs to come into my home and disrupt my children and my life.
The I-Team found currently there are no homeschooling regulations in Connecticut or any system in place to monitor students once they are removed from school for any reason. There is a statute that requires that parents be able to show that the child is receiving equivalent instruction elsewhere, but nothing that explains how the state can or does enforce it. Christina Guillo, the state's acting child advocate, says we need something.
The issue is not with homeschooling. The issue is with the reality that there are parents who take advantage of our lack of regulation to hide their children.
It's an issue that's come up before following the death of Matthew Torado. Torado's mom was convicted of starving the nonverbal autistic 17-year-old in 2017 after years of abuse and neglect. A 2018 Office of the Child Advocate report looked at 380 homeschooled kids from 6 school districts in Connecticut and compared them with DCF records.
More than a third of those children who had been removed for the stated purpose of homeschooling had at least one prior report to DCF.
The I-Team found state policy does not require parents with current or past cases with DCF to notify them of homeschooling, so they don't always know it's happening. And in many cases, a school may not even know DCF ever investigated a family.
Those are the kids we worry about, and truly, those are the kids that I worry about.
What is concerning is when a child is taken out and we don't know what the outcomes are. We don't know where that.
Fran Rabinowitz is the executive director for the Connecticut Association of Public School Superintendents. She says the state doesn't even require parents to formally tell schools they are homeschooling their children, only recommends it. Though without notice, a child can be considered truant after 10 unexcused absences in a year or 4 unexcused in a month, allowing the school to investigate and potentially get the courts involved. Rabinowitz says there are several groups, including hers, working on legislation that would require a more formal process.
We would just like to have a document that says I'm homeschooling my child according to the state standards. And then we would like a 1-year check-in where they come in and take the SBAC test, if they wish to take another test, that it's done by a third party.
It's not that simple, Samantha Santilli says.
The idea that I need to be reporting back to the school system, well, then I would have kept my son in school if I wanted to report back to the school system.
Santilli shares the same concern that many homeschooling groups tell us they have, that they are coming under scrutiny for cases that have nothing to do with them. Despite at least 2 documented visits to the home, DCF did not find abuse or neglect in the case of Kimberly Sullivan's stepson. In Toronto's case, no one in the state saw Matthew for more than a year before his death because his mom did not send him to school, denied access to her home, and ignored orders to appear in court. Despite that, DCF asked to close the case, and a judge granted that petition. Guillot agrees that we should be looking at all parts of the problem.
Because at the investigation stage, there are not a lot of tools for DCF if the parent simply refuses to cooperate. On the other side of that, we need to grapple with the issue that parents can just go to school, say, I'm going to homeschool my child, and there's no follow-up whatsoever. None.
Brennan, you want to write your name on the board?
Santilli just wants to keep her independence.
I think there's other things that are being missed in order to blame something else.
Since news of the Waterbury case broke, lawmakers have proposed several fixes. Tomorrow, we hear from lawmakers on both sides of the debate and where the state goes from here. Your chief investigative reporter, Sam Smink, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.